morning. Happy Monday. It is the week of Halloween. It's also the week of parent-teacher conferences. It's also our book fair week. So we have a lot going on this week. So I thought I'd film a little week in my life, the week of Halloween. Today we have a dress up day. It's PJ day. I thought I would just take you through my crazy busy week. That should be really fun, but also crazy busy, like I said. I'm gonna pull up my tabs. I feel like it's been forever since I've like vlogged. So I feel like my brain is like, wait, how do I do this? So sorry if it's a lot of rambling because like I said, I haven't done this in a while. So we are also off on Friday. So we only have Monday through Thursday this week. Friday's our comp day because we have 8 hours of conferences this week. It's from 4 to 8 on Tuesday and Thursday. So they give us Friday off to compensate those hours. So we only have 4 days this week, but 2 of those days during my plan time, I have meetings today and tomorrow. So I'll only have 2 plan times this whole week. So luckily I did a lot of my prep for conferences last week because I kind of knew this week was not going to have a lot of plan time. So I don't know how often I'll get to talk to you throughout the day, but hopefully I can pick you up before and after school, kind of show you what we're doing and give you a recap of the day, and again pick you up when I can and film when I can during the day. So this is what students see when they walk in. This is their agenda slide for the day, so I'm just giving them a minute and a half to do this while I take attendance. Today we're working on rhyme schemes. We have not worked on this before, so I'm reading this book just to get the basics of a rhyme scheme down. And then after we read, I have this anchor chart for us to do, which I'm seeing right now is kind of hard to see. So I might have to turn some more lights on, unfortunately. I was trying to make it like spooky in here. Anywho, this is from that book. I just wrote out a stanza. So we're going to talk about what a stanza is, what a verse is, and then we're going to label the rhyme scheme. I have this poem that I just typed in here. It's called Ghosts by Howard Temperley. So we're going to read through it, and then I'm going to remind them what phrasing is and how we only pause when there's punctuation, because they're going to want to pause at the end of every verse, and that's not what you do. You pause at punctuation. So that's a good reminder of phrasing there. So we're going to read through that and then label that rhyme scheme. And then we're going to play this Halloween Would You Rather that I found on YouTube. Okay, I went ahead and turned on like these string lights. It's not all of them. I still have these off. I don't know. I almost just feel like I should just turn them all on if I'm going to put any on. I'm sad. I really wanted it to just be like lit up with the orange lights. But maybe I should just make that be a thing on like the last day before Halloween. I don't know. Or maybe just not at all. I want it just to be like darker in here, but I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're doing today. So I will probably, I'm gonna get the ambiance right. Anyway, I will probably pick you up maybe at lunch. I don't know. I usually eat lunch with my friends, but I might eat lunch in my room today because I don't get my plan. I don't know. I'll pick you up at lunch probably. Even if I end up eating with my friends, I'll probably talk to you before I go to lunch. But I need to unstack my chairs. I need to go to the bathroom before the bell rings. I have about 10 minutes to do all of that. Let's see if I can check anything off of my to-do list for today. Here's your slide for this morning. It says, Happy Monday, please get out your book club book. Then you are whispering to everyone at your table the answer to this question. If you had a pumpkin to carve, what would you carve into it? Today we are going to talk about rhyme scheme. Let's see if you know what a rhyme is. If I said hat, what rhymes with hat? Bat, cat, sat, cat, rat. Okay, what about most? Least. And that's opposite, dude. I know. Ghost. I know what Mows, goes, rows, toes, rows. Okay, those all rhyme. Okay, so whenever you are reading something like one of these books, who has ever read There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Book? Okay, there's a lot of them. We're going to read There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Bat, but whenever you read a book like this, it has a lot of rhyming because it is a poem. Poems often rhyme. Not always, but often they do rhyme. There was an old lady who swallowed an owl. Oh my, she started to howl. So what I have done over here is I have pulled out one kind of like a paragraph out of that book. But since it's a part of a poem and not just a regular book, we don't call this a paragraph, we call this a stanza. Heel, does that rhyme with night or light? No, it's a new ending sound. Eel. That's a new ending sound, it's a new rhyme, so we get a new letter. And what letter is it going to be? B. Why is it not C? Or D? Or F?
Because we don't speak letter. It goes by alphabet.
Yep, it stays with the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down to Z.
Would you rather only eat gummies or only eat chocolate?
You can eat chocolate gummies.
That's what I said. You could put chocolate gummies. Have you ever had chocolate covered gummy bears?
They're delicious. Actually, you couldn't eat those because you can't cover them.
Would you rather
That looks good. It is my lunchtime. I'm sitting here eating my lunch. I have some leftover chili and then some Fritos to put in it, and then I'm drinking my water. I decided to stay in my room for lunch today because I have meetings during my plan time today and tomorrow, as I was mentioning this morning. So I'm just gonna chill and I'm gonna start reading this book. I got this at our book fair last year and I made myself save it because it was a Halloween book, and by the time I got around to like reading it, Halloween was past, and I am that person who doesn't do like holiday stuff if it's not that holiday or it's past that holiday for the year. So I made myself save it, but it's called Raising the Horseman, and it's supposed to be like 200 years ago that the Headless Horseman event happened, and now this Van Tassel family member has found the journal of the Katrina Van Tassel from the Headless Horseman, and she's like reading it and realizing some things about that story that she has been told were not actually true. And then she starts to like believe in ghosts and things like that. So I'm really excited to read it. So I'm gonna sit here, eat my lunch, and start reading this. After school, today went well. This afternoon was really fun. I forgot to show you what I was doing in my 8th hour. Our 8th hour is our RTI time. So let me show you what I did in there real quick. In that class, I work with my reading intervention kids. My kids on reading success plans. If you're in Missouri and you teach, you know what a reading success plan is. So I work with those kids. My kids that I have this school year need help with fluency. So we read a passage that I just found on Teachers Pay Teachers with some comprehension questions at the bottom. So I had them read through it on their own in their heads, and then we read through it together, and then we answered the questions, and they had to highlight the text evidence that answered the question, and then we did that together. So that's what we did for my RTI today. But like I said, the end of the day went really well. My meetings went fine, and now I need to do my RTI plans for next week. I know what I'm doing, I just need to write it down, and then I have some notebooks to grade. And and I need to put that in the grade book. I'm gonna get those things graded, write down my plans for next week for RTI, and then get my dates and things changed for tomorrow, and then I am out of here. Okay, I need to go make some copies. I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna change my dates and stuff like I said, and actually get out of here. I did these last year and they always turn out so cute. Copies are secured. We made it in the car. We're going home. It's 3:55. This is definitely later than I wanted to be leaving, but we have homework help, which is exactly what it sounds like. Kids stay for like an hour after school and they do their homework that they need to catch up on, or missing work that they need to catch up on. So I had a kid down there. I had sent him to do his reading for me because he was behind on his reading. All of that to say, I spent about 15 minutes with him trying to figure out where he was in his book, and we never even found where he was in his book. So, anywho, don't tempt me to think about Christmas Bass Pro Shops. Oh my gosh, this makes me so excited for Christmas. As I'm wearing my Halloween earrings and my Halloween shirt, I love Christmas. Oh my gosh, that made me so excited. I'm not gonna lie, I did a Target pickup and I definitely got 3 Christmas mugs. Did I need them? No, mugs are the last thing I need in my house, and I really don't need Christmas mugs, but I did, and I made room for them. I have a problem. Okay, we're home. Let's go inside. I did a Target pickup order yesterday and they did not deliver it until today. I was home yesterday. I was not home today. I was at work. So that's a little frustrating because I got some groceries that need to go in the fridge, but luckily it is chilly outside today, so they should be fine. But let me show you what I got. I got some brown sugar, 2 cans of pumpkin because I'm gonna make some pumpkin bread, Halloween sprinkles, Blizzy cold brew. This is so good. If you haven't tried it, so good. Such good cold brew. Harry Potter cauldron cake, which is just the toffee flavor of the Coffee Mate creamer. I get the Coffee Mate creamer because it's lactose free. Spooky nuggets, because obviously. And then I got some keto, the Oreo pieces, because we're doing a game one day this week and the prize is gonna be cookies. But I'm gonna make them spooky because I have those little candy eyeballs, so I'm gonna put the candy eyeballs on these and the Halloween sprinkles. What did I buy? A mug. And what did I buy? Well, let me start over. What did I buy? A mug. What do I not need? A mug. That is the last thing I need in my household, especially a Christmas mug. And what did I buy? 3 Christmas mugs. So here's the first one. How cute is a little Santa? These are the second impulse. They're a little stacky and they have like, oh, they're so cute. I did not need these or this, but that's what I bought. Definitely don't need mugs. Definitely don't need Christmas mugs. So I bought Christmas mugs, obviously. But anyway, that's all I got. I need to put those away, especially the frozen things. Happy Tuesday. I got to school about 10 minutes ago. It's 7:35. I have about 10 minutes till the kids get here. I'm just pulling up my slides and getting my room set up. My room is pretty dark today because the things that we're doing in class today is one, we're going to the book fair. And then when we get back from the book fair, I'm going to turn my lights off, except for just like a few glowy lights. And then my kids are going to read with flashlights around the room. And I had our librarian pull a whole bunch of spooky books, like ghost story books and things like that. So they're going to read with a partner around the room, read scary stories to each other. So hopefully they think that's fun. They did last year. So that's why my room is pretty dark this morning. But I'm going to finish pulling up my slides and then go to the bathroom before the bell rings. And I will talk to you when I can. I'll film what I can today like I did yesterday. It is my plan time. I just got back from a meeting. I thought I would show you what I've been working on today and show you what my kids are doing in more detail before the bell rings for the rest of the day. So this is what my kiddos see when they come in. This morning it said good morning. I just switched it for the afternoon. Here's their to-do list like usual. Today it just says to line up, leave their stuff at their seat, and grab their money if they have book fair money. I'm giving them a minute and a half. Then we're going to the book fair and looking around the book fair. They can shop or they can just look around. Then when we come back, I'm playing this Halloween fireplace. It does have music with it. I just have it muted. I have other music playing, not right now, but when they're in here, I have other music playing that I like better. This is actually in a playlist on my YouTube channel. On this channel. It's a public playlist. It's called like Classroom Ambiances, and I put this in there if you're interested. But while this is playing, I turn off my like white string lights. I leave my orange Halloween lights on, so it's pretty dark in here. And I leave on like that purple light. I do turn that off because it's really bright. So it's just kind of glowy lights. And then I'll have all of these like ghost story books that my librarian got for us, and then some flashlights. And my kids are picking a ghost story book and reading around the room. And they've been sitting under the tables with their flashlights and like reading to each other. But that is what my kids have been doing today. And it seems like they have been really enjoying it. So that's going pretty well. So now I'm going to show you what I have been doing while they were reading. While they're reading, I have been working on seating charts. This is just first names, so it's nothing that I can't show you. But this is what my seating charts look like. I just kind of went into PowerPoint and did shapes and labeled each shape a table number. These are kind of the shapes of my tables. I have kidney tables and one round table. And then I have my teacher table. And so I kind of put those where they are in the room. And then I put the kids' names around each table that they're sitting at. So how I redo seating charts, the first of the year I just put kids in randomly because I obviously don't know my kids and I adjust as needed. But now that I know my kids and who they should and shouldn't sit by, how I do this is I look at their current seating chart and I make a list over to the side of who should not sit by each other and anybody that needs a specific spot, like closer to me or by a certain person or not by another person, like I said. So then I take from that list first and I put those kids in their spots first so I can get them where they need to be. And then the rest of my kids, I look at a roster and just fill in the kids that I don't have on this list that I make over here. And that seems to be the easiest thing to do. But if you do not have some sort of like layout like this, I highly suggest doing one. Even if you have like desks instead of tables, do some sort of a layout. So then when you leave sub plans and you leave your seating charts for your subs, it's a lot easier for them to see where the kids are actually supposed to be sitting, instead of me just saying, for example, like table 3 is this person, this person, this person. Like they can easily see that table 3 is this table right here, the circle table, or this table is the one closest to my desk, and they don't have to look for the table number. I do have table numbers above my desk, but like I said, then they don't have to look for it and it's very obvious. And then they can address my kids by like, hey, so-and-so sitting at table whatever, or like, oh, I need this person, oh, they're at this table, and it's easier to find them. So this is what I recommend for seating charts if you are a teacher or you are going to be, or you care at all. While they were reading, that's what I've been doing. Also at the book fair, I bought a Harry Potter book. I bought the first one. Me and my husband are reading the first one together. I've never actually read the Harry Potter books, So I really wanted to read them, and I bought the first one. We have a hard copy of the first one, but it's actually his mom's, and I don't want to take her copy because she has the whole set, and they're all hardbacks. So we're borrowing it right now to read it, but I wanted to get our own copy. And this one is like shiny, and the side has the golden snitch on it. I think it's so cool. So I bought our own copy. Now I would like to get on Scholastic and see if I could buy the whole set of Harry Potter books with the like printed edge for my house, for my kids and my family when they're old enough for that. But anyway, that has been how my day has been going. I did crack open an Alani because, like I mentioned this morning, we have conferences this evening and they are till 8 p.m. So I'm gonna need all the energy I can get, and the bell is about to ring. So I'm gonna go and I will pick you up after school. Okay, it is after school. I have about 15 minutes before conferences. I'm going to show you really quickly what I kind of what I have prepped for conferences and what I do for conferences. So first of all, I always have my water because I'm talking a lot. You're propped up on my water bottle right now. I also have a book if I ever have any downtime, which is rare, but sometimes I do. So I just keep this book here just in case. I have my grade book, so I can easily see like, oh, your child has a lot of missing assignments or has some assignments that were put in as permanent zeros because they did not get them turned in on time, or whatever the case may be. But I have that right here so I can show them their grade and reference that as needed. I will also have my Chromebook up so I can tell them their letter grade because my grade book does not have their letter grade in it. It just has assignments. I have, as a reading teacher, I give reading tests to get their Lexiles. So I have all my Lexiles printed out. We use the STAR reading assessment. So I have those scores laid out, printed out, and I will reference those. And I have a sheet that tells me if they are above, on, or below reading level, and then we can talk about that as needed. And if they are below reading level, I usually know, because they're below reading level, what they struggle with specifically: comprehension, decoding, fluency, and I can give tips based on that as needed. And then the second to last thing I have is a roster printed off. I have rosters for each of my classes, and I have all of my students listed with a checkbox by their name. So when I see their grown-up, I check it off so I know that I've seen that grown-up. Beside each student, I might have a note. I will, when grown-ups come in, I will always give a positive about their child to start. So I don't put any positive notes on here because I always give a positive to start. I always give a positive about their child and then start the conversation with, what questions or concerns do you have for me? And then if I have a note by that child's name, that is a concern that I have for that child that I would like to address for the parent. And again, I don't have any positive notes on here. I just have negative notes. So the only additional conversation we would have, other than just the questions and concerns you have for me, the positive I give them, and their Lexile, would be if I had any specific concerns, then we would address that. And then the final thing that I have in my school, we do reading success plans. So we have a sheet that we hand out to parents. This is a little QR code that they can scan, and it takes them to our website, a document explaining the process of the reading success plan and what that is, and gives them some resources that they can do at home to help their child, in addition to the resources that I provide on their actual reading success plan. And then I have their reading success plans printed off and more additional resources that I actually put on their reading success plan as something they need to be doing with their child for extra help. This QR code thing is just extra help if they would like that. So I have that for my reading success plan parents. And on top of the reading success plan, I have a letter that says that that the parent will sign or the grown-up will sign that says that, yes, I have seen the reading success plan, I understand what it is, and then they sign it and give it to me, so I have documentation that they've actually seen it. And then any students that are on a reading success plan who's grown up I do not see, I will email the actual letter to, or not email, I will mail the actual letter to that grown-up for that child. And then back to my roster thing, if there's any students that I have a note by, a concern for, that's what the notes would be. If I don't see that student by the end of conferences, then I will email that grown-up, depending on the severity of the concern, which most of them are minor enough that an email would do it. Some of them, if they're a little bit more intense concerns, then I will actually make a phone call during my plan time another day of the week. But that is kind of what I have set up for conferences. So I'm going to show you one last thing that I do that's an extra thing that I don't have to do, but I like to do just in case I have any families come in with little siblings that come with them. So some of our families have a lot of siblings, like I said, so if any come, I like to give them something to entertain those little siblings so they're not running around my classroom. So I have some little coloring sheets here and crayons and markers, and then they can color right here. And I do have some blank paper there, which is actually for tomorrow, but I don't actually mind if they grab that blank paper. I have more. So I always like to do this so those littles have something to do while their grown-ups are talking to me. In my school, it is not a requirement that our grown-ups or parents come to parent-teacher conferences. Of course, we very much encourage that they do, and we as teachers remind our students that, hey, we have conferences tonight. We would love to see you and your grown-up. We'd like to brag on you, yada, yada, yada. So we always do encourage it, but it is not required that they come. But I hope that helps those of you that care. If you don't care, I'm so sorry. You can just skip this part of the video, but I just thought I would share what we do and kind of how I personally set it up. And there is no specific way that we are told we have to set up. There's nothing we are told we have to do at conferences. We just have to be here. So that's just what I have developed over the past, this is my 5th year, so I guess over the past 5 years of what to do at conferences, and it seems to have worked well for me. So that's what that is. I will probably end today's part of the video here, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. My room is darker than it was yesterday. I told my kids every day my room's gonna get a little bit more dark, so it's pretty dark today. I still have my spooky sign over here, so it's shining a very bright light, but tomorrow I'm going to turn that off. So it's literally just going to be Halloween lights in my room tomorrow. Every day it's going to get darker and darker for Halloween. So today I got here a little bit later. I got here at 7:30. It's 7:37 right now. The bell rings at 7:45, so I really do not have a lot of time. I did sleep a little bit later today than I usually would. But my body just needed some sleep after last night's conferences. So that's okay. Sometimes we need that sleep. This morning my alarm went off at 5:40, and I did get up, but what also went off at 5:40 was our smoke alarm. There was no fire or anything, but I believe it was just out of batteries, but it scared me and my husband both so much. He woke up, he was like, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, I don't know, just get your shoes on. But it ended up, it turned itself off. So I think it's just running out of batteries. So we'll have to check that this evening. But it didn't go off again as I was getting ready. So I'm pretty sure it's just out of batteries. But anyway, that was our fun wake up call. And it was in fact a wake up call. So I'm going to get my slides pulled up. Those are still not pulled up. Get my planners open and things like that. Kind of get my desk set up and ready. And then I'll show you really quickly what we're doing today. And then it'll be about time for the kiddos. Okay, this is what my kids are going to see when they come in today. And then I will switch it to this slide, which is what they should be doing while I'm taking attendance. So today they're just getting out something to write with. And I don't care what they write with today, pen, pencil, marker, whatever they would like. And then we're going to review what it means to visualize. We just talked about this last week. so it should be a review. And then we're kind of visualizing on this activity, but it's just kind of fun. I tried to tie it to something. I got this not off of TPT, it was on Pinterest, but this is what they're doing. So I'm reading it to them. They have to have their eyes closed, and then I read through the different things and they have to draw. I don't do the point thing at the bottom because then they just start lying like, oh yeah, I had that, and I don't want to check every paper. But it's just for fun. And then I always say, this is your visualization. We're practicing visualization because our eyes are closed and we're not seeing a picture in front of us. We're letting our mind make the picture. And the last thing we're doing today is we're watching this Garfield Halloween. It's about 20 minutes long, and I just found this on YouTube. So that's what it's called on YouTube. You can look that up and find it if you're interested. But I just showed this, and then while they're doing that, they have a couple of choices. This is from Teachers Pay Teachers. What should your teacher be for Halloween? And then this is something I also found on Pinterest, but it's on like some teacher website. I just thought these two were fun things, or if they don't want to do these things, I have blank paper they can draw or color. Because as you all know, anymore kids are not super entertained by TV shows, so sadly I have to give them some choices while we're watching, otherwise they might lose their mind. Some of them can watch and be entertained, but some can't handle it. The bell has rung, so I need to go get my kiddos, but that is my day, and I will try and get some clips, and I'll talk to you when I can. It's a cloudy night, so put some clouds in the sky. Your eyes are closed the whole time. Open your eyes for a spooky sight. Let me see your beautiful creations. Have you ever seen Ghostbusters?
No.
Oh, it looks like the green Ghostbuster guy. Look, oh my gosh, your cat has like 6 tails.
Where is
What's going on? Oh, I didn't think it could get worse.
I did 2 A's.
Oh, yours is pretty solid, Lucille.
Mine's
Hey, that's pretty good. That looks like a bat.
Yeah, that's the only good part. The kid is okay, I guess.
Yeah, except what is this?
That I think it's supposed to be a hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, what is this?
I don't know. You can see my spider.
It is my plan time. I have had a really good day so far. I did get a few clips this morning. The kids are really enjoying opening their eyes and looking at their visualization. They're always like, oh my gosh, that is not what I saw in my head. Because I've been telling them, like, we're letting our brains visualize, and then we're letting our brains guide our hands. And then at the end, you get to see if what you visualize matches what you drew. And then they're like, this is not what I visualized. And it's so fun. I have some work to get done. I have 20 minutes left in my plan time. Basically, the first 20 minutes, I was just talking, going to the bathroom, all those things. And then the last 10 minutes, I made myself some hot chocolate, which is really delicious and wonderful. But I made it in my like very mini Keurig, and it made a cup bigger than my cup that I have. So it overflowed and spilled. So I've been cleaning that up. But that is all cleaned up. So now I only have about 20 minutes left of my plan. I have been getting a lot done today while my kids are watching Garfield. They're also very much enjoying Garfield, which I tell them that we're gonna watch Garfield and they're just excited automatically. So Garfield must just be really popular or something, but I was worried because it is a old TV like episode. So I was worried they wouldn't really like it, but they've been liking it. And they've been really liking filling out these costumes for me. Oh my goodness, these are cracking me up. So I have a Shrek or Alien. They work in the same, that costume would work for both. I have Spider-Man. Spider-Man is skinny and strong. She has a Spider-Man shirt. I wore it for our superhero day. She likes Spider-Man and she likes spiders. And I was like, dude, I do not like spiders. I am terrified of spiders. I said, but I guess I would like spiders if I was Spider-Man. Oh guys, this one. I should be my Stanley Cup. Oh my, there's some other ones in this one. This one cracked me up. I should be a lollipop. This is a lollipop, and I should be a lollipop because she is sweet. She makes you happy. She's crazy. I'm loving them. They're having fun with those, and I'm loving keeping those. So I'm gonna put all of those that I get, I'm gonna put them up on the wall tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell the kids, like, you can go see what Mrs. Roback should be for Halloween. I might even have the kids vote. That would be fun. Like, vote on the top, or like have them vote, and then next week I could reveal like which one won and which one I was for Halloween, even though I'm not actually gonna dress up, but which one I guess I would have been for Halloween if I would have dressed up. But I think that could be fun. But anyway, they're having a really good day today. I'm having a really good day today. So I need to get some work done, stop chit-chatting, and I will talk to you after Hi, happy Thursday. I did not pick up the camera at the end of the day yesterday because I was super tired and I just went home, and we had a pretty busy evening last night. I did not pick you up this morning because, like I said, we had a very busy night last night. So I woke up pretty late, and then I got to school and I was running late, and I had duty, like literally when I got to school I had to go do my duty, and then I was late to my duty because I still had to pull things up for today. So today has just been kind of chaotic in the morning, but overall my classes are going pretty well. Let me show you what we're doing for today so you can see what we're doing. This is their to-do list for today. It says decide on a spooky team name with your table team for today's activity. I'm not giving them 5 minutes for that. I'm giving them 3. The time, it's just a 5-minute timer. I have it set to start at 3 minutes. And then we are reading The Legend of Spooky Hollow. So I bought this resource off of Teachers Pay Teachers. The Little Prince is the teacher that I got it from on there. So it has a bunch of really cool images, which I put into a slideshow on Canva, and I've been showing some of my classes the slideshow images to go along with the story, but it breaks the story apart into different paragraphs, about 10 different paragraphs. So it's working on listening comprehension because the kids are not seeing the paragraphs. You could do it where you could do this as like a breakout room sort of thing and give each group a packet and they have to read a paragraph. And there's questions for each paragraph. They could like read a paragraph, answer the questions, unlock something, and then go to the next lock or whatever. And I will probably do it like that next year. I just didn't have time this year because this was kind of a last minute idea. But anyway, we're reading through, working on listening comprehension, and then I'm asking them comprehension questions. The ones I have X'd out, I'm just not asking for time's sake. I just X'd those out. But yes, as you can see, it's a bunch of different questions to go with the different paragraph passages. And then about halfway through, I am starting to just give them the questions and not giving them the answer choices. And they're doing a pretty good job with that. So after I read and I give them time to answer, I have flashlights in here and I turn all my lights off today. I've been turning all my lights off. So they have flashlights and then they have whiteboards and stuff, and they are writing their answers on their whiteboards, and then I'm checking. And I have their spooky team names written up here, and then I'm giving them a point each time they get an answer right. And then whoever has the most points at the end wins. And the winners, I'm tricking them and I'm saying, do you want a trick or a treat? And I'm like being very dramatic. I'm like, ooh, do you want a trick or do you want a treat? It might be a bad treat. It might be a good treat. It might be a bad trick. It might be a good trick. What do you want, a trick or a treat? And then if they pick like a treat, I'm like, ooh, like it was a bad treat. And then like if they pick trick, I'm like, ooh, that I probably wouldn't have done that, like being super dramatic, but I'm just pretending that one's a trick and one's a treat. And they're picking, but they're both cookies. So it's just for fun. But I made a bunch of like cookies last night. It's just pre-bought dough, but this was like Oreo cookie. That just made a mess. And I just put some like monster eyeballs and Halloween sprinkles on it that are now on my desk. And then the other ones are just like chocolate chip cookies with those shaped cookies on top, the little pumpkin ones. So their team is getting that if they win. And then I forgot to tell you this, but when they walk in, I have this, and it's full of these, and they're just mini cheese balls for their Halloween treat from me. So that's what I'm doing in my class today, and I'm playing like spooky music, just like spooky instrumental music in the background. And yeah, the kids seem to be really enjoying that. Like I said, I will probably turn the paragraphs and questions into an actual like escape room or something next year when I have a little bit more time to think about it. But like I said, when I decided that's what we were gonna do, I just didn't have time to make that into escape room. So maybe next year. I'm sitting here finishing up my lunch. Our local coffee shop came by and gave us, or they didn't give us, but they gave us the opportunity, I should say, to order from their food truck that they have. So I got a matcha. It was called Casper's Matcha. And I didn't notice because it had that little coaster holder thing on it, but she made a bunch of like little ghost faces, and you can kind of see it. I guess there was like white chocolate, and so it was like ghost, but sadly this was on it and I didn't see, like the little cover thing was on it and I didn't see the little ghosts, but I'm sure it was adorable. But that's why it was called Casper's Matcha. And then I got this salad, which honestly has too much dressing, but that was on me because I dumped all the dressing on it instead of just a little bit. But it's pretty good. It's like a vinaigrette dressing with like apples and cheese and cranberries. It's pretty good. So I'm munching on that, finishing up my lunch, into my plan time. So today has just been kind of a crazy day. And then tonight we have parent-teacher conferences. And I explained already what I do for that. So same thing for tonight. Same setup, same thing I'm showing parents. And then I will show you one more thing. I was a little worried that our story wouldn't take up the whole class period today. So I quickly made copies this morning of just a Sleepy Hollow word scramble and then a Sleepy Hollow word search. I also got this from Teachers Pay Teachers. I'm not sure who the teacher is on Teachers Pay Teachers. That was a different one than I got the actual story from, but I printed those off and have those ready just in case we finished early. My only class that finished early got done like with 5 minutes left, and that wasn't enough time for them to get that and get started. So I just had them tell spooky stories to each other and just goof off for a few minutes. But overall, like I said, it's been a good day. So I'm going to finish my lunch, get some work done, and I will talk to you when I can. Dream of becoming a famous writer, marrying Katrina, or opening a school. Hi, it is still Thursday. It is just quite a bit later than when I talked to you last. I am home now. I'm all ready for bed. I'm in my PJs and I'm in my room, so the lighting is not wonderful, but you know, it is what it is. I just thought I'd get on in the video here. We had conferences tonight, so I stayed at school very late. I stayed till 8, and I got home about 8:30, so it was just a long evening, but it was really good. Got to talk to lots of parents that I needed to talk to, and then some ones that the kids I have no issues with, and just some time to just brag on those kiddos. So it was a really good week. It was very fun, very busy, very long for a short week since we do not have school tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching if you made it all the way through. And I will see you in my next video.